When you say I believe in miracles, miracles cannot save you. You are saved every day by science. The fact that you can transfer money in your phone is science. The fact that you have a phone is science. Every single day you are saved by science. Science is the biggest miracle that can ever happen to you. Science is the biggest miracle of this generation, of this dispensation, of this era. What is the use of your spirituality? I ask this question over and over again. Your religion, your spirituality, the fact that you go to church, the fact
So, guys, how are you doing? Daytona, no, it's a Cartier Calib. It's not a Daytona. How are you guys doing? So, the conversation today is when a woman falsely accuses a man, we know what happens when a man rapes a woman. The question now is when a woman falsely accuses a man of rape, what should be done to the woman? Good morning, guys. What should be done, in your own humble opinion? What should be done? I don't want to talk plenty. Pop my money gun. What should be done, in your own opinion? So, what do you think should be done to a woman? As usual, nobody wants to talk. Are we having a problem with the internet? DJ Big N, I see you.
Rizzo.
DJ Big N, how
How you
far?
doing?
This one, where you dey sleep?
This always is.
Where you dey sleep?
Now 4 a.m. now.
You no suppose sleep now.
Why I not go sleep?
Ah,
Is the country on fire? Make I know whether I begin to pack my things. That girl get mental issues. I don't think it's a cloud thing. Before being a DJ, I'm a psychologist, and some things are not adding up. To be honest with you, I feel she needs help. She doesn't need bashing. Things are not just adding up. And many other things she could have done to chase cloud before that, but ultimately, and person really mix a lot of science, not science students.
They mix a lot of things together. Because if you
First of
see
all,
the way
if
she
you
praised
take
herself,
codeine and alcohol, if you see codeine on the bottle to tell you not to mix with anything, not to mix with alcohol. So if you take codeine and alcohol, chances are that you might hallucinate, or chances are that you might see things. You know, I was talking to a very dark man yesterday, and he said the girl has tried to harm herself before.
we're waiting for DJ Big N to get back. DJ Big N, I don't know what happened. Can you guys see him? I'm trying to see if I can get DJ Big N back. I don't know what happened. Network just shut me out. I don't know whether it's network or Instagram. Can somebody please help me tag him? Make you know, say we don't come back. Ah, thank God he's back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, brother. Where's she go?
Even you say your voice is half, your demeanor is half sleepy. Is half of you is in bed,
Not
right?
necessarily. I'm awake at this time. It's just that yesterday I only slept 3 hours and I had to record. And I have a very nasty habit of when I don't sleep, I just drink Red Bull. And it takes me like for 6 hours. Then I was sitting in front of my neighbor's house today, shirtless, and I was sleeping on his lounge chair.
It happened.
It happened. So you said you were talking to VDM. That's where Instagram.
This is really like come live. This is probably the 10th time you're inviting me on live where I just say, every time I'm on the toilet, I say, let me just pick up this one.
Okay.
You know?
At least you are not sleeping.
No, I'm not sleeping. So pretty much, I just feel like, people should take it easy on that, to be honest. I'm picking now. I'm picking. She's only 18.
She's only 18.
Yeah, she's only 19.
Now, there was something that I was thinking about. She did not directly falsely accuse anyone.
Who should say raper?
She made RAPE, Joe.
No,
Why did they put? She just cooked up a story and created a character.
Exactly. Is that not the modus operandi of a psychotic person? Someone that has mental issues. Because now somebody that wants clout would directly accuse somebody, right? And like I said, first of all, I didn't really pay attention to the case, but a lot of things that
There's some, before you
Vivian was
came,
saying was, first of all, she has tried to harm herself before. Second of all, she's a straight lesbian. Thirdly, she has no sibling and no folks. These are recipes for.
how come she has no folks and no?
I don't know. It happened now. Could she have been seeking for
Validation.
I won't say validation. She could have been seeking for a cry for help that ultimately ended up in, for lack of a better word, cloud chasing. Yes.
I want you to look at this story. For me, this is the story because I read it, and I read it with one lady called Samaria. She was on the live with me. She said, I got RAP'd yesterday in my own apartment. Then she goes on to describe in detail. She said, I stood up, I was having a drink. I was still drunk. Was having a drink. Immediately I opened the door. I got pushed back. Now I want you to read this part that really bothered me. Let me scroll down. She said, the RAPIST now sent a text. Now this is what the text says. The guy's name was Preston. I'm sure you don't know me because you've decided to close your eyes after waking up from passing out. I want to tell you that even if you remember me or my face, because we have met twice and you kept ignoring me on the second time, I had to pay boys to stop empty bike from entering that side so you will wait and talk to me. And you kept distancing yourself. You complimented my speaking and said I smell nice, but you refused to give me your number. You are so good looking and sound so cute. I wish you could make some sound, but I am scared that if I take out the cloth and untie your mouth, you would scream. But seeing you mumbling and throw little tears that roll down your eyes when you gave up. Now read this. And staying still was so satisfying. But anyways, your body is, oh my God, amazing in an understatement. Despite being slim, your body was so soft. And wow, no bumps or rashes. It must be so nice having that baby, whatever. Anyways, I know you are smart and you definitely figure out who I am, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes on again. And you got the knack often make them they pound you, cause why you get baby pee, I get force 2 fingers in before I use face blade cut you to stimulate me being the first person there. As in, she wrote a letter that painted her to be a V and painted herself to be so beautiful. Not personality disorder.
Yes. Absolutely. In as much as first of all, she needs to be taken to be mentally checked. Then
exactly what I said.
Then the police can further investigate. But I can tell you categorically, there's a screw loose up there. I understand that I'm of the opinion that RAPIST should always be brought to books. They should be the strongest arm of the law should fall on them, right? But in a situation like this, that the person is even make believe. There's no doer, there's no accused. Do you understand? There's nobody. First of all, if you read that message, the person starts speaking so eloquently. All of a sudden, the second paragraph, the person turned out to rough. You need to really, I don't know. I don't know if everybody else sees it that way, But if you analyze them, you will see that this guy is going through some deep stuff. Whether or not you like it, You can say you will take and go prison. Not gonna change anything. First things first, she needs to go to psychiatry.
100.
Need to take her to psychiatry. First of all, dissect which of the sciences she's doing. Because if you hurt yourself before, if you've taken sniper, if you've taken codeine, that is probably not the first time. Probably will not be the last anyway. So there's a desperate cry out for help and attention and validation. It has, yes, the social media thing and the cloud thing is also there, but the primary problem is a psychotic problem.
Dilly Sings, welcome. And we've got our lawyer, Sarah Sani, here. Sarah, what are your thoughts?
Oh, it's a lot. Okay, so basically...
By the way, Sarah has PhD in law, so her opinion is always very valid on matters like
you
these.
caught me unawares, but all good. So, basically, she... For one to be charged of an offense, you have to be... The elements required for that offense ought to be present, which is the act itself.
That is the actus rea.
The accused.
Accusers and menstrual. So the accused, in this case, we are talking about the lady. So the accusers basically would be the speaking of that defamatory statement, the allegation she's making herself. So that's the act. And the menstrual is the intention, which is the tricky one. So the intention to actually give that impression that that crime was committed against her, because we are talking about false accusation now. So the intention to falsely accuse somebody, you must have that intention to falsely that person. So let's have that at the back of our mind, that we need not just the act, but also the intention. Both must align. So basically, there are different ways one can falsely accuse somebody of committing an offense. Maybe it could be giving false information. It could be giving false evidence in court, which is equivalent to perjury. It could be defamation, criminal defamation. So the prosecution, based on the defense, based on the investigation and the evidence they have at hand, we determine where her own case would fall into. So, which is most likely criminal defamation, from what I can see, because she made this allegation.
Criminal defamation, doesn't there have to be some persons or a person that you are defaming? You said the person's name is Preston or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm coming there.
Identified as Preston.
I'm coming there. I'm in the process gradually, because everything has to be in place. It's not going to be based on sentiment. Facts has to be aligned. Evidence has to be presented as well. So if there's an allegation against you for false accusation, it will be an accusation against a specific identified person. And it must be clear that it was that person you made that allegation against. There must be evidence to show that you made that allegation clearly and you intended to falsely accuse that person. So, why did I say for giving false information to the police? I'm not sure when she made that allegation, she made it on social media. So, false information to the police, I'm not sure that would be the offense she can be charged under, because I'm not sure she went to the police.
Absolutely.
She did not go to the police and write any statement against that guy. So that's why I'm just shoving that aside. Perjury, she didn't give any evidence in court.
Absolutely.
What about misleading the public?
It's immoral. It's not illegal.
I'm saying, sorry?
There's a difference between immoral and illegal.
Yeah.
And retract that statement.
That is where I'm going to defamation because of the public. That is why I'm going to defamation. So it could be criminal defamation, and we could also go the civil route. But we are still on the criminal angle for now. So for the criminal aspect, it's criminal defamation that I can see aligns closely to what has been presented. Now, it's left for the evidence to be brought out that the act was actually made, that is, that allegation was made, which there is a video, and in that allegation, it must be clear that a specific person she's referring to, and that is the person she would have falsely accused, who would most likely be a principal witness in the case as well.
So we are saying the same thing, right?
Yes, he's asking me my own opinion. I'm just saying my own opinion. Sincerely,
I thought you were coming with the angle that there's a criminal. There's a criminal. She can be actually summoned or be charged. Is there any charge? What are the charges if there's going to be any?
For her?
Yes.
Against her? Yes. That is where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Charges, if any. I didn't really hear what you've said. You know, I just joined.
Oh,
and I just started giving my opinion.
So that's the reason why.
Sorry?
I said that's the reason why. Here's the thing, right? I know the little I know about law is that if you are, for you to, speak about you know what happened, right? The RAP case.
Yeah.
There has to be an accuser and there has to be an accused. Right now she's accusing a ghost. So now,
I'm just stating what should be out there. Yes, I agree with you absolutely, but we are saying almost the same thing. It's just that I'm outlining all the necessary requirements for such case to be made against her.
Somebody says she received some money from people. That is a crime.
So
obtaining money under false pretense. That's a crime.
So that's a different one. Everything has to be proven, and there have to be the intent too that should be established. So
if people just decided to give her money because they felt sorry for her, then it's not under false pretenses.
Well, she gave a narrative. She gave a narrative which led people
to voluntarily give her money. She didn't ask them for money.
That's another one.
Whether she asked, well, let's not even go into that for now. Yes, there are a lot of intricacies around that funding aspect. But for the false allegation issue, there have to be the acts and the intention to commit that act. And why am I emphasizing it? Because there's a trick about there's the intention is questionable. And you know that for any criminal allegation to succeed or criminal liability to succeed is proved beyond every reasonable doubt. So you must be able to establish that there's no basis for the court to have any doubts in the process. So her intent is where the question is, because, and this is me almost fast-tracking it, I'm kind of raising some possible defense that might come. Before her defense, for the prosecution to establish their case properly, they must show that intent, that motive. Yeah, I don't want to mix intent and motive, but from motive, you can see intent as well. They must show that she intended it. And she has been portraying, based on her narrative and that interview, some signs of, some mental instability or trauma, psychological stress. All this alters the intent.
All right.
Sorry. Yes, she has been showing some form of psychological trauma and stress, and probably some substance influence on her as well.
DJ Big N suggested that.
All this informs the strength of her intent. All this weakens the possibility of you establishing somebody intending something. If somebody intends to achieve something, you must be in a right state of mind for your intent to align with your actions. So that is another aspect that is core. So, and I want to correct another notion. A lot of people are going with the narrative of trying to be the legislative arm by stating the offense, the punishment that should be given to her. You know, it is the lawmakers that make the laws. However sensitive it might be, if, for example, she's charged for criminal defamation and by any miracle she's been convicted, she won't be sentenced to more than 2 years, because for criminal defamation under the criminal code is 2 years or less. Penal code is 2 years or fine or both. So you cannot sit down and just start imagining that, oh, she has to be punished like somebody that committed that crime she's alleging was committed against her. You know, the R crime. So I think I need to correct that notion. For every crime, for every offense, there are elements that needs to be satisfied, and there are punishments for any conviction, and it's the punishment written in the law that will be applied, you know, irrespective of how emotional or sensitive the matter is. And, you know, these are the factors that should be considered. And she could, whoever is the victim of her allegation, whom I don't know if she specifically had a victim or mentioned a victim, mentioned somebody's name, that person can go the civil route too, aside the criminal route. Okay. You know, because of reputational damage and whatever impact that allegation would have had on him. And in that process, ask for compensation, however huge, you know, he might deem necessary.
Sorry, Peter Judge. So since you say, just the same way you don't really have a total comprehension of the matter, the little I know, I'll say something. You have a PhD in law. I studied psychology before I became a DJ for 4 years, right? People fail to understand that there's a lot of psychological problems that people do go through. It does exist. Nobody wants to believe it does exist. People think, oh, she did this issue. Let's unpack this issue. Like I said earlier on, there are things that are immoral, right? There are things that are illegal. They're two different things. This thing, she wrote, they said one person's name is Princeton or Princeton. Has any Princeton?
Sorry, please, this other woman, you are making us dizzy, going and coming off camera.
Sorry, there's
a noise from the other person.
I don't know, really, seriously.
My auntie, please press X. You sent me a request. I brought you to the live. You are going and coming, making us.
My work. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you said cut the press X. Press X. You sent a request.
So, like I said, if you unpack this, right? She said there's somebody called Preston, whatever. Has that person come out to say, I didn't do it, or she's lying against me? So all these things now is, quote and unquote, for now, is deceitful, right? It's wrong. It's pretense. It's cloud chasing. It's this. I have seen people that have gone through psychosis. I've seen people that have really touch. I've seen people, like you people you start to realize, I'm a strong agitator for people who falsely accuse people of that crime, that the law be brought upon them, because there are a lot of men who have gone down for things that they didn't even do. So I'm a strong agitator for the heaviest arm of the law to go on them. But I am telling you, in the same vein, there are people we know well. This person caught herself the same day. That blood she's seen is up. Do you know what it is to take drugs?
Substance.
There's some things maybe I'm not sure that VDM has said, but I can tell you that for fish, it is not one drug, it's not two drugs, it's not three drugs. For crying out loud, when they shot me in South Africa, I was taking pregabalin and gabapentin. I was hallucinating. I was saying things.
Yeah,
I was on my balcony. Something was telling me to jump. If not beside Cap when I get out here, I said, this is not me. That's why for jump, they go say I want trend. I'm telling you that the things that
They go say you
say,
want trend.
it's true. You go, yes, I join jump. You go say, big one. No. I'm telling you that there are some things you take that alter your state of mind.
They're called mind-altering substances.
Mind-altering hallucinogenics. So I'm not saying that she's right. I'm not saying that she's wrong, but I'm just telling you that if you are, as a lawyer, you have to establish beyond reasonable doubt. Unless you have ruled out.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying. So these girls should go to the hospital. If you go to hospital, they say, upstairs is correct.
Even if all these possibilities you have mentioned, if you're gonna claim something like that, like okay, your mind does not align with your act, and that's the law is not. The law knows that there are some things you might do which is not your intention. That is why there is menstrual. That's why the mental element is very important to be proven. So that mental element ought to be important and ought to be proven as well. And if she can be able to present the fact that she was not in the right state of mind when she did this, and that wasn't her doing. You know, it was her acts, but it wasn't her intended doing. You understand? That is reasonable doubt, and she can't be convicted on that basis. So,
I don't think there's going to be any conviction. What is the conviction going to be? That did she incite violence with her neighbor? She incite the crowd to come and beat anybody? Did she collect money under false pretense? As Daddy Freeze is saying now, they say they donated to her willingly.
Yeah.
She did not go and say, she's not started to go funding. So there's no economical malpractice. There's no malpractice there. Do you understand? All I can say is that the only thing that I would say that is a little iffy is if your mind is altered, that text construction is my only red flag. Every other thing can be possible, but that text construction.
And that's why it's subject to debate in courts. Everybody, the prosecution has the strength of their case. She has the strength of her own case too. So that's it. Everybody's going to pull out their own.
Well, what I'm saying, madam, is that the prosecution, what is the charge that you're prosecuting her for? Is it the state that is prosecuting her? Is it a civil case? Is it a police? What is the charge?
When I say a prosecution, it automatically means a criminal case. Prosecutors don't do civil.
So how do we establish a criminal case here?
I just laid that out. That was what I just did. I started with saying,
and I'm telling you that from what I know about this case, there's no criminal case. High misdemeanor. Nobody is going to. The person is not. Police is not charging her.
You can't just. I'm just outlining the requirements.
Now, I understand where he is coming from. Good evening. Good morning, Holyfield.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, good morning.
Holyfield.
I agree with the fact that on legal basis there might not be a case. There might be a case, but when it comes to the mental illness part, I don't buy that. I think she's just someone that tells lies. Maybe she's a compulsive liar. But
which is a personality disorder.
That you say she's mentally disturbed because was
she
hallucinating when she made the video?
Go and Google me and see how many degrees I get. Because I discussed it, I don't get respect.
It's not about that.
No, ignore them. They'll be mumu now.
I'm asking a question. Was she hallucinating when she made the video?
I don't know. How do we establish that?
We don't know whether she was in the right state of mind when she
don't know that.
I don't know that.
But you are making a defense for her.
Yes.
I'm not making a defense for her.
I'm establishing reasonable doubt. I'm not making a defense. I'm establishing reasonable doubt.
Establishing reasonable doubt is a defense.
Yes. Okay, you call it a defense. Why not? Because everybody's throwing it. Boom. Don't get it twisted. I just said now that I have a red flag when I saw that message. So I'm not 100% behind her. I'm just saying that is it possible that substance abuse can lead to things like this? I have seen it before.
Yeah, it's possible. And if you are raising that as a defense or you are raising that to show that you were not in the right state of mind, you have to put out evidence and prove. You can't just say, "Oh, I took this." No, you need to back it up with evidence. Somebody is going to testify on your behalf that I know that, oh yes, she does this. You can't just stand up one day and just say, "Today, this was what happened to me." You have to provide the evidence that would support your defense of not being in the right state.
And that would have to be a doctor or somebody, a clinical.
Thank you. Yeah. Part of it is a medical report that might show. If it's not medical report, you might have friends that would testify to the fact that, oh yes, she's usually into things like this. Oh, she has once done this in the past. So you can't just come and put it out there as a defense. You have to also provide evidence to show that this was really your state of mind on that day, or a history, medical history or anything to show that that had been your pattern. You are always on and off with things like this. That became
And the network don't do okay since so. Sorry guys, network was very bad. While we're waiting to boot. Okay, Holyfield. Let me bring Holyfield back so Holyfield can continue talking.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Holyfield, continue, Jerry.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'd hesitate to make any kind of defense for her because obviously this is something that could have been much more detrimental to a real human being, right? So, yeah, I'd hesitate on the mental illness defense as well. Because for me, analyzing the evidence, I don't think there's any sign of mental illness. Perhaps she uses drugs. It doesn't mean that she's mentally incompetent.
Substance.
Right?
Just say substance.
Watching that video, she seemed quite coherent. The intention to paint herself as a victim seems very. It doesn't seem like out of some kind of mental illness. I mean, unless you want to say lying is a mental illness. Or pretending is a mental illness. Or making up a story is a mental illness. So the mental illness thing doesn't fly for me. I think it's getting so common that when someone commits a crime these days, they try to hide behind mental illness or I'm depressed or I feel I'm this, I'm that. And yeah, we shouldn't fall into that rabbit hole.
All right, we've got people here.
To respond to that, and that is the reason why when you are alleging that your mental state was not aligned with your action, meaning you didn't know what you were doing when you did it, you must prove that. You can't just come out and put it out there as a blanket statement that I was either traumatized or anything. People around you should have witnesses to prove that yes, this is what you're going through. You're traumatized. You should have either, maybe in other Western country, you probably have a medical report that has shown that visiting the doctor and they have history you of this kind of mental instability or psychological you're going through. So you would have to prove.
Okay, Holyfield, since you've spoken, DJ Big N wants to come back.
Sorry?
Okay.
No, Holyfield.
No
or do you have any other thing you want to say?
No.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents.
All right, bro. Blessings.
Bless.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yes, you have to provide evidence, witnesses to support whatever you're trying to put out there as your mental instability, or the fact that it wasn't your act because it wasn't your mind. You weren't in the right state of mind. So that's it. I think we'll allow the other guys talk. Can always come in.
Hello, guys. I think I'm in the same page with DJ. Psychologically, what she did is something she has rehearsed before now. It's something she took her time to rehearse on her own before coming out to make that video. And I think she painted a picture in 2 ways. One, she knows that most Nigerians are very gullible. When you just come out to the internet and say things, people just sympathize with you and start voluntarily giving money, thinking money is the solution to what your predicaments. So if you look at it from the psychological part, she's not, maybe she cannot be punished for anything, but she knows exactly what she did. And if there's a reason for them to kind of conduct a psychological evaluation on her, in between, she would be caught. That's the truth. And with actually is on the right track. Let me say something. So you see, it's. I totally understand Nigerians. In this era, people just they use anything trend. It's kind of annoying. It's paid out. It's very annoying, especially when Nigerians as a whole feel like they've been had. Like you take us play, like we even they feel for you. I know that feeling. But I'm still saying, if it is one person I'm getting to on this line, if it is two people I'm getting to on this line, the thing that it's pissing me off, freeze, right? That, why we should go through that, blah, blah, blah. But the psychologist in me, bro, I don't want to come here and start sounding overly scholarly. There's delusion disorder. There's pseudological fantastica. You should Google all these things, right? There's fastidious disorder. There's dissociative disorder. All these things are in line with exactly what is happening. You might think I'm speaking too much grammar, but the truth is that these things that I'm calling, it happens to human beings. It's not only Oyibo, it happens. It's not Indians. It happens to human beings. So please, before you throw the baby on the bathwater, let us rule that out. Once you rule that out, now we go champion. Say this girl, go better for her. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Because if there's an avenue, if there's a little hope, if there's a little avenue, a little rope to say, this girl is scoring the upstairs, and we say that it is possible, right? It is. Then we can ask, okay, rule it out. And what does it take? Take her to the nearest. It's not far. Take her to the nearest thing. They will do a toxicology report. They will do an MRI. They will do a brain scan. All these things we used to play and say, oh, it's clout. It's not. When that has been done, I can now be with you empirically and statistically and scientifically and say, okay, all was clout chasing. Until that, nobody should tell me anything. That's my stand on it.
Thank you. My brother with the cap. Over to you.
I think DJ has spoken very well. Until there's something proven that she's lying. For now, no one should be able to say she's lying or she's not lying. Nobody has come down to say, okay, it was my name.
We have more or less established that she's lying. We have more or less established that she's lying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she did confess to that fact. Yeah. However, she also added that she sounded unstable while she added that she was quite unstable while she was engaging in the whole lies, or how would I put it?
Fabrications.
She did say she had taken substance and all that, and she's under stress or whatever. So all this, and now all that has to be proven, because people, no doubt, while it's really, really important and it's true, it happens, psychological trauma, nobody is underrating that or saying it does not happen. It does. At the same time, we should also not shy away from the fact that people take advantage of the system as well. People take advantage of policies, people abuse defenses available to them, and people hide under certain things. And that is why the law makes it such that you can't just come out and just, misbehave and then hide under anything. Nobody's saying she's hiding under anything. But whatever you're alleging has what impacted you or came over you, you should be able to prove it. You should be able to prove it for us to know that, okay, truly you were mentally unstable, and this because if that is not proven, even the prosecution has a duty to prove that she was in the right mental state, and her acts and her mental state, that is the Accusers and the menstrual, were present when she committed the crime. So the prosecution too has a role to play, has that role to play.
Do you think the government is going to waste taxpayers' money?
Sorry?
Do you think the government is going to waste taxpayers' money trying to establish anything on this girl?
Interesting question that they freeze. Interesting question. Well, if she has a good defense lawyer, I think she's good.
My own here is that, like I said, 97% of me feels that girl was chasing clouds, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the analytical part of me, the person that says, okay, what if is this one? And it's very easy for her to say, she don't mention anybody's name. She came outside and didn't. If people were minding their own business, what is your business? You go to listen to person with a form story. It should only be your business when she says, Mr. Princeton or Mr. Prince, I don't know the person's name, Mr. P. No, not Mr. P. I'll not use that name. Mr. Princeton did whatever he did, and then Mr. Princeton now comes and says, it's not me. Then everybody should now say, okay, there's a liar. You people, let's take this up on ourselves. As far as I'm concerned, okay, hold on. She's chasing clouds. Let's you know what? Let's flip the narrative. She's chasing clouds. Mm-hmm. So F what? That should be the first person which chased. What did you people do to the girl that went to take picture in front of another man's house? Come off it, man. Come off it. You are in tune with it. You are bored, so you tune into the story. You're just upset that you got played. Okay, if it's clouds, go. Okay, it's clouds. Go dagam. Go carry on. Go panty. Where is the space sell for a cloud chaser?
Sorry?
Where is the space in a cell block? Where is the space in panty cell? Or in a police station or a cloud chaser?
No, not. I don't think it's an offense.
Oh, what are we talking about here? Everybody just the guy don't chase clouds. Okay, we label her as a cloud chaser. We move on. I'm just telling you that girl not get something loose there.
Yeah, and the thing is, if we even need to look at it, part of what I earlier mentioned, which you've drawn my attention to again, is the fact that when you're alleging, when there is a case against you with respect to defamation or false accusation, there must be a third-party victim. Who was this person?
But that's what I've been trying to say.
That's part of the element or the requirement.
Ghost. The third party is Nigerians. The third party has now become online in-laws. That's the third party.
I think it was a guy that came out and was talking.
That's our neighbor who debunked her story.
Something online,
people they cloud. Somebody said they cloud chase on real life issues. They cloud chase with everything. You never see where person go mama.
Here is the crime. In this particular offense,
I think that's what ends this case. If there's no victim, there's no crime now.
Where's the crime?
Where's the crime?
You cannot establish crime impacted by what she said.
He just they pain us say, those things. Everybody was trying to find justice for the girl, and I can understand that. On the flip side, on the flip side, it's annoying because we have situations like this where ladies accuse guys wrong. A lot of guys.
I know the implication of this. Those that are true victims of this
will not get justice. Will not get justice.
You undermine justice for true victims that will come in the nearest future. It's a very sensitive, sensitive issue. The R thing is a very, very sensitive, whereby even in the criminal justice system, we have a high record of statistics that those that are victims of that R crime, they don't come out to talk because of the shame that comes out of it. Now we are encouraging people to speak out, and some people are trying to chase clouds with it. I mean, how will true victims or real victims come out to speak tomorrow? These are the issues.
Now, in criminal justice, it's called suspension of disbelief, which is not a crime itself.
Now, it's not the crime itself because that you printed a story for people to believe you. That doesn't mean it's your choice to believe or not. So, why are there? Nobody should be angry. The only thing here is that when the real person
People
that is
will be
actually
angry. Those that will be angry. That's their business.
That's what DJ is saying. Nobody cares whether they are angry. That's their business. You believe it. That's the only thing they bet now. Say they throw you banana, you chop them. That's the only thing where you bet about. Now you kettle of fish.
Yeah,
the only anger here is that.
Yeah, some people are angry over that. Some people are also angry at the fact that she is undermining justice for other real victims that will come in the future.
True.
Which is the major issue here. Which is
the major issue.
Touches me the most. Like, okay, when people that are really victims of this crime come out, do you think Nigerians will rally around them like this? See the way Nigerians showed up for her. They got their emotions bruised because they all wanted to support her and all. Only for, their expectations to be just cut short and dashed. I mean, tomorrow everybody will say, well, if a real victim comes out tomorrow, they'll be like, okay, this one might just be another clout chaser. And before you know, offenders will be going free. Offenders will be having a bliss.
So that's what's a bit hard, is because I believe in previous cases, you have people who say Mr. X this to him or Mr. T did this to him. So there's somebody who has been identified as the person. But in this case, there's nobody. This is probably the first time somebody is accusing a ghost that we've heard on. Do you understand? So I think that's why it's a little iffy.
Yeah.
They had called that person out, and Nigerians knew that person's handle, dug deep, and found out that person. We're not going to talk this story right now like this. So fortunately and unfortunately, it went the way it went for her. If she had gone to make a statement in the police station, and she would be behind bars right now.
That would be a different issue.
Entirely. Or if she pointed fingers at somebody, it would be different. Unfortunately, either she's too smart. So that's another thing. Either she's just too smart, she wanted to play the whole game, which is hanging in the sky, or the other one I said is still possible.
It just did not get to that point. It was at the verge of when the police, I think VDM, alerted, created more awareness, and the Ogun State Police were like, okay, trying to investigate further and invite her for a statement, because you have to give your statement first before any investigation. That was when she confessed.
They noticed things were not adding up, right?
Sorry?
That's when they noticed things were not adding up, right?
Yes, I don't know when exactly, but it's around that phase when he had, informed the police. The police is aware and ready to swing into action. Okay, we are going
to the police, when you go to the station and write a statement, when you say the person's number, the person's number says the name, right? If the policeman asks you, who is this person, and you cannot identify the person, and you cannot say this person, how do you have the person's name saved, right? I think that's where they found out, because it was very easy to punch a hole in the story, right? It wasn't too long before it was stored out. So they said, what is this? I don't think she wrote a statement, because if she did write a statement, she should be behind bars right now, or pending the investigation of what I said.
I doubt she wrote a statement, because she's still, according to her, getting some medical attention, went to the hospital, being taken care of. She's still at that phase of getting the necessary attention she did. So I'm not sure if she actually...
To my own knowledge now, I know firsthand that they've taken her to a psychiatric person. Maybe I should have said that from the beginning, because that one, I'm privy to that information, that I know that they've taken her to where she will go and get...
Yeah, VDM actually mentioned something like that.
Oh, okay, because I knew that yesterday. So I know that that's taking her there. Let us wait. If tomorrow morning they come and say this girl no get brain don't fry, I would like to read. I would like to have this live with you guys. That's my daddy. Please, you hear me?
I did hear you clearly.
If tomorrow they can't say XYZ, please bring these same 4 people on so that I can say that little 1%. Or that little 2% is still a possibility. Everybody's pissed off, I understand, but sometimes when you're pissed off, you don't really make the right judgments. You're not being very objective in the way you think. Clarity, just woosa for a bit and think about other scenarios. It's called Missing Mango for a reason. I can't be telling people this every time. Condemn me whatever way you want to condemn me. Say I'm spoiling it for others. Fine. Is there a possibility that this girl is having those kind of problems? Those problems is not only Oyibo. But you know they're abroad. It's not only Oyibo. It's not those problems are not Oyibo problems. It happens to everybody. So till tomorrow or next, you know they take time to diagnose.
And trust me, I don't already see traits of personality disorder.
I can tell you for free, even if she was cloud chasing, there's personality disorder in that girl.
She's not well.
At all.
She's not well.
So, like, look at even her history, her background, her history. Like, according to what VDM said, she lost her mom, she lost her dad, she's on her own. I think she's about 18 years or 19. Or below 18, I don't know. She's still within that range of 18. She's quite young. She's facing the world of herself. She says she has insomnia. Sorry?
She's 18, going to be 19, I think.
Yes, she can't sleep. She has to take substance to make her sleep. So all this will mess up with anybody's mental state or mindset. So
let me tell you another suspicion I have. She's chronic on substance.
Sorry?
She has a chronic substance problem. Because there's a lot of substance around, my opinion though. The hallucinations, the personality disorder, she wants to buy herself, the insomnia, they're all classic.
These are all variables synonymous with disorders. They're all variables that are synonymous with disorders.
Yeah.
You know the problem? Everybody believes in Nigeria, we know they get those kind of problem. Talk about issues. No. So it's hard to get to online in-laws or online spectators. Now only I get depressed. No be Nigeria we all day. No problem. It's fine. But is it possible? When you rule that out, then you can now say, Elite Yahweh. But till then, it's a different case if she has not gone through this, she has not been checked in, she has gone. It's only a matter of time.
Okay, so let's work with that. We'll reconvene again, hopefully tomorrow or the day after, once there's more valid information on this particular story. Thank you very much, my gentleman and lady, my gentleman and lady, DJ Bigen.
Yeah, thank you.
At least, if nothing, I learned something today.
Nice talking to you, Madam Lawyer. Very nice talking to you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure talking to you.
If anything, I now know that DJ Bigen has a degree in psychology.
Oh, awesome.
All right, guys. Good night. Thank you all for coming and stay blessed.
Thank you.